With the swearing in of parliamentarians dominating the news today, I thought you might want to get away from matters political and let's talk about one of my favorite subjects, minibus taxi drivers and the minibus taxi industry, particularly in Johannesburg. Now, I don't understand why the Joburg minibus taxi industry is not listed as an example of excellence in industry. Tell you why. They fulfill some of the important criteria. Number one, they're very consistent. Every Monday morning, without exception, from the MTN taxi rank in Joburg, I was late, very late for work, and so were thousands of other commuters. Now, that kind of consistency is very rare. Number two, companies talk about company culture, and they would sacrifice an accountant on the altar if they could have a strong company culture. Well, taxi drivers, almost without exception, pretty much the same. Gruff, surly, uncommunicative. If they answer you, they normally answer you with a grunt. If you get two grunts, be happy. That's good communication coming from a taxi driver. In fact, the colleagues probably say, Kumada is a good guy, but he talks too much. They're very innovative. That's the third thing. All those unused emergency lanes and traffic islands and other areas that other drivers don't use. Well, our taxi driver puts them to very good use. But I want to dispel the myth that taxi drivers are just insensitive brutes. No, they're not. I remember once our taxi breaking down, of all places, right at the bottom of a steep hill. And so we trudged up the hill while the driver tried to coax his vehicle up. And a lady was very upset. And the driver, very hurt, responded, "But what can I do if the taxi is broken?" And yeah, that's logical. Who can blame you for driving people in a clapped out piece of junk that even the junk dealers would laugh at? Another incident. We had 5 near misses in almost as many kilometers. And again, a lady was very upset. And the driver, very hurt, invited her to leave the taxi if she thought that he was driving badly. And I could feel the guy's wounded feelings. How can he be blamed for the atrocious driving of those 5 reckless drivers? Now, with the price of petrol and diesel going higher than that of platinum and diamonds, I thought I'd just set out a very quick guide to taxi use for those of you who want to switch over. So if you thought that Robert De Niro was quite something in Taxi Driver, wait until you meet our guys. In fact, I think Robert got his famous line right here in Johannesburg. You know the one? You're talking to me? Now, if he had dug deeper, spent more time researching, he would have learned such traditional local greetings as Fusegi and Msu ... Now, I don't know what that means, but I assume it's a cheery greeting along the lines of, "Have a nice day." So I guess take that and deliver it in a New York accent and it would have spiced up the dialogue. "You're talking to me? Msu ... Now, if you sit in the front seat of a taxi, you really have to make sure that your math is a lot better than that of a former leader. Because you become the taxi accountant, unopposed, taxi bookkeeper, and you're responsible for the fares of, on a good day, 16, 18 people. On a bad day, who knows, 30, 40. And God help you if the books don't balance. If you sit in the back seat, just make sure that you have the shape of a slender 60s model. Because the back seats of taxis are God's revenge on us for what we do to sardines. And before you sit, make sure that whatever you need, you have taken out of your pockets. It's an awful thing to have a lady screaming, "Stop touching my thighs!" I suppose it's probably worse if it's a man screaming. Just on the issue of fares, never tender more than 50 Rand in fares because the drivers are intensely superstitious about change. A poor gentleman was told very gruffly, "Where do you expect me to have change at this time of the morning?" Now, a good answer, but not a wise one, might have been, "Well, how about from yesterday and the day before and the month before?" But okay, that's not the kind of logic that applies in this case, because you could find yourself out on a dark Joburg street all alone that looks like something out of the set of Mad Max. Finally, make sure that you have something interesting to read or you have good content on your cell phone or tablet or whatever. Unless you're the kind of masochist that loves to watch your life flash before your eyes several times. So, with that in mind, enjoy your taxi ride. For more straightforward, if somewhat offbeat comment, read my blog, The Scuffle Continues. My books are on Amazon Kindle, Richard J. Mann. Cheers.